Welcome to Mathematics with Suleiman. Today I'm starting a new series on grade 12 exam papers, and I'm looking at the national exams of 2025. That is, of course, the paper of last year. So I'm starting off with the very first question.
So please, very important to subscribe to my channel so that it can enable me to do some more videos. So please, people, don't only watch my videos, also subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be able to see more of my new videos coming.
National Senior Certificate, Grade 12, Mathematics Paper 1, November 2025, Question 1. At question 1.1, here you need to solve for x. So if you look at 1.1.1, it's already been factorized for you. X plus 5 times x minus 2 equals to 0, and then you must solve for x. 1.1.2, 5x squared plus 2 equals to minus 9x. Corrected two decimal places. Of course, here we need to transfer the negative 9x to the left-hand side. And then if they say corrected two decimals, that is a hint that you must use the formula. 1.1.3, 8x squared greater than 2x. This, of course, is an inequality. So 2x must go to the left-hand side. Then 1.1.4, 2 times 2 to the power 2x minus 9 times 2 to the power x plus 4 equals to 0. This, of course, is an exponential equation. And then 1.1.5, the square root of the square root of 1 over x plus 2 equals to 1 over the square root of x. Of course, this one deals with surds. So for x, 1.1.1, bracket x plus 5 into x minus 2 equals to 0. Fortunately for you, it's already been factorized, and very important, there's already a 0 on the right hand side. So be careful, there's got to be a 0 on the right hand side. So therefore x plus 5 is 0, so therefore x is negative 5, or x minus 2 is 0, so therefore x is 2. Always remember to test your answers. So again, test the negative 5 and test the 2 to see whether they do satisfy the equation. Then 1.1.2, and they said corrected two decimal places. So that is the hint that the quadratic formula, namely x equals to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, must be used. Very important. So remember now, we need to take negative 9x to the left-hand side, rearrange so that we can recognize a, b, and c in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So we all can see that a is then a 5, b is a 9, and c is a 2. So do your substitution, use your calculator, round off to two decimal places, and the first answer is x equals to negative 0.26, or x equals to negative 1.54. Question 1.1.3, given is that 8x squared is greater than 2x. So this is an inequality, so remember, I need to take the 2x to the left-hand side, becomes negative 2x. Then I take out a common factor, 2x, which is then 2x into 4x minus 1. Then let each of them be 0, like 2x be 0 and 4x minus 1 be 0, to get what we call the critical points. So now we draw the number line, and now we test values around 0 and a quarter. So if you take any value to the left of 0, you will see it will satisfy the equation. If you take values between 0 and a quarter, it will not satisfy the equation or the inequality. And if you take a value greater than a quarter, then it will satisfy the inequality. So therefore it is a split answer. So therefore x is then less than 0, or x is greater than a quarter. Then 1.1.4, your exponential equation. 2 times 2 to the power x minus 9 times 2 to the power x plus 4 equals 0. Now there's two ways to do this problem. You can either introduce what we call the k method, where we say let 2 to the power x be k, then we can replace 2 to the power x with a k, factorize, and then reintroduce x. Or you can do it without using the k value, just by normal factorization. Then the factors will be 2 times 2 to the power x minus 1 into 2 to the power x minus 4. Then each bracket equals 0. Solve for x and you get x equals to negative 1 or x equals to 2. And again, test your answers. Question 1.1.5, the square root of 1 over x plus 2 equals to 1 over the square root of x. So this is a problem based on surds. So the best approach perhaps might be to square both sides to get rid of the first square root on the left hand side. So if I square both sides, then I get rid of the first square root on the left hand side and the square root on the right hand side. However, there's still the square root of 1 over x left. Then next what we can do is, if you look at square root of 1 over x, then you can split the numerator and the denominator. So the square root of 1 is 1 and the bottom still remains square root of x. Then for a second time we can square both sides to get rid of the square root for the last time. Then the left hand side is 1 over x. The right hand side of course will be a perfect square, so solve it accordingly. Then of course we can transfer all the terms to the left hand side, also collect the like terms, and then we can multiply throughout with x to the power 2 to get rid of the fraction. Then we get 4x squared minus 5x plus 1, which we can factorize or use the formula. Then we get x a quarter or x minus 1. Please remember, dealing with surds, you need to test your answers in the original problem. And you'll notice that x equals to 1 does not satisfy the equation. So the answer is therefore only x equals to a quarter. Question 1.2. Calculate the values of x and y if x is the sum of 2 and y. So let's do that first one first. X is the sum of 2 and y, so therefore x equals to y plus 2, call it equation 1. The second bullet, 5 times the product of x and y. So that means 5xy, isn't it? Is 6 more than the square of x? So there you are. 5xy equals to x squared plus 6. Call that equation 2. Now we can substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Right? Get rid of the brackets, transfer all the terms to the left hand side and also collect your like terms. Then of course you can either factorize or you can use the formula. If you factorize, you get 2y plus 5 into y minus 1. So therefore y is negative 5 over 2 or y is 1. Then to get x, resubstitute y equals to minus 5 over 2 or 1 into equation 1, and then we get x equals to minus a half or x equals to 3. Thank you for watching Mathematics with Suleiman. Please don't forget to share, like and subscribe. Remember, subscription is free, and with your subscription, it can help me and encourage me to do more videos.